Hello and welcome back to Tommy's Top Shelf Comics. I'm Tommy, joined by Murphy.
Hello.
We're back with this week's top 5 comics for the week of September 27th, 2023. They were next week's comics, but now it's this week, so they're this week's comics. Starting us off.
We're getting close to the end of the year already, man.
Yeah, it's fall season. I like fall season of comics. Summer's kind of boring. I know there's always like the Marvel event and everything, but
yeah, there's always some major event.
I saw a headline that I can't honestly, I can't even tell you the name of the event right now. Invasion something.
Which one?
The Marvel
There's
event.
Ultimate Invasion.
Yeah,
it's not so much an event though.
Isn't it supposed to be like
just like a single
event?
title?
Yeah.
No, it is.
I mean, they're doing it right in that they're not going all the way across.
Yeah, it's literally just its own, self-contained story.
Yeah.
But yeah, the DC had Night Terrors, and I don't know. Did Marvel do something else? We should know. We look at it every week.
We do, but we only look at the comics we care about. Starting off with number 5, one that we haven't covered before, Power Girl. So this is part of the dawn of DC. Power Girl stars in her own epic ongoing series, pretty, punchy, and powerful, after the events of Night Terrors. A long-dormant Kryptonian threat has returned to take down Superman and his family. Who could possibly stop it? Well, according to the Man of Steel, it's Power Girl. Witness a road trip race against time as Paige reconnects with her roots to save the world from her deadly past. Power Girl's special writer Leah Williams returns with artist Eduardo Pansica for an ongoing series of epic proportions.
Hey, they had that one shot recently, and they were like, "All right, we're gonna make more Power Girl stuff."
Yeah,
it's good to see. And also, they've gotten her out of the pages of just Action Comics.
Yeah, so that was another thing when we were coming up with our top 5, and part of the reason why it made it to our top 5 was there's been a lot of Power Girl miniseries since you and I, just stuff, or she was part of a team or whatever. Since we've started collecting back, like what, early 2010s, late 2000 aughts.
2000 aughts.
Isn't that what it's called? Like the 0 years?
Yeah, that would be the aught.
Yeah. But there hasn't really been an ongoing. So this is super interesting. Not something that they just do every time.
And they've definitely been hinting at it for a long time too. Like, yeah, she's been in miniseries, but like mostly they keep throwing her into events and stuff like that where she just, has a real part in it.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely interested to see where they go with an ongoing title.
Absolutely. But moving on to our number 4, we got Batman Beyond, Neo-Gothic, number 3.
So in the darkness beyond, a looming threat waits. Behold, the Court of Owls. But who do they seek and why? After escaping the wrath of Killer Croc, Batman comes face to beak with the most terrifying court to ever exist. But in order to get the answers he seeks, he must be willing to make the ultimate sacrifice. Can Batman act against his mission to protect? All this and the truth behind the magic is revealed. Yeah, the Court of Owls are so cool, though.
It's really neat.
That it's such a good villain to have, and then to because when originally Batman Beyond came out, there was no Court of Owls.
Right. But
now they can just be like, oh yeah, they still exist.
That was what I was gonna say. Is now it kind of tells us that in the modern era of Batman, Court of Owls don't go away.
Yeah. I mean that's why there's such a good character,
Yeah.
It's just the fact that Scott Snyder was able to basically just retcon the entirety of Gotham's history.
Oh,
they're just like, yep.
Yeah.
Like past and present and future.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, they're there.
Yeah.
Just the Illuminati of Gotham.
You thought Bruce
now
Wayne
this
was
I have actually really enjoyed this series too. I know you said you would pick it up in trade. Yeah, at the end of issue 2.
Okay.
So they kind of makes sense with the first 2
lead
issues.
in. Okay.
Yeah, so at the end of the second issue, like he's going deeper into Gotham,
Mm-hmm.
like under Neo-Gotham and into like the old Gotham.
Right.
So it made sense that they were gonna end up coming out.
Makes sense.
Killer Croc's pretty cool too.
Oh, absolutely.
He's like this like hulking monstrosity more than he was.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm trade waiting on that one, but very excited to read
Yeah.
it when it comes out. Moving on to our number 3, we got Rat Queens, Sisters, Warriors, Queens. The epic conclusion of an incredible 10-year run of the award-winning series Rat Queens, the finale reunites Betty, Dee, Violet, and Hannah decades after a fateful final adventure that forever broke them apart. With many questions and things left unsaid, discover the mystery of what drove them apart and what forces have brought them together one last time. Special 10th year anniversary prestige format one-shot. So
this one I know nothing about.
yes, so this was my pick. Rat Queens came out. It is an incredible book. It is a bunch of strong female characters in a fantasy setting. 2 of my favorites.
Now, are they like barbarian?
No,
like,
it's
is it
like
just
D.
like,
It's more like D&D. Like one's a necromancer, one's a warrior, one's a rogue. Kind of a, you know what I mean?
So they're like a party.
Yeah, they're a D&D party, and I don't know. They just go on all these crazy adventures, but then the story behind it. You can go Google it. Just Google search Rat Queens artist. You'll find out what I'm talking about. But I stopped reading it because of that. And then it came back. It also stopped. It just stopped. But then they came back with a new artist and had a couple other series. So it's not like it hasn't been going for 10 years straight. It's not like this has been on the shelves for 10 years. There were long gaps. But this is the 10th anniversary.
So that's what I was
coming
wondering
out.
is like, did people see this coming, or was like the last one that came out, did it seem like that was the end?
I haven't
and then they just
really
kind of did
I've seen a couple things come out over the years, but it certainly hasn't been consistent. And just knowing that now there's an end to it, I kind of want to go back and read the things that came out, because I really enjoyed the characters and the setting, but no longer wanted to support that artist. So kept away from it. But now that I know it's the end and then I can just read the rest, is kind of enticing. So but moving on to our
sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I'll read it and then I'll let you know if it's a thing that like you'll see.
I still gotta finish Saga. You can't can't give me something to
I'm
binge.
Surprised you haven't finished that. I'm surprised.
I've been waiting. I've been waiting on that cliffhanger.
Now you're waiting for another binge.
Well, so I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna catch up soon, but I was giving myself time.
Yeah.
But
you're learning the ways. You're learning the ways.
It is bad because I keep seeing it come out now. Now that he started up again, and there's a little portion of like my collection that is a pile of stuff that I have never read and I won't read until a certain point, and it's Saga. And I'm like, I still got to read a little bit.
Yep. But moving on to our number 2, we got The Invincible Iron Man, number 10.
So we called out that this one would be on our top 5 like earlier this month. So you are cordially invited to the wedding of Anthony Edward Stark and Emma Grace Frost. Come join the lucky couple as they exchange vows. Attire is Hellfire formal. Orcus rate to follow, plus some exclusive wedding extras. So this, I mean, we were kind of talking about is like, I love the Fall of X and where it's gone. So like incorporating Iron Man into it, I think has been really cool.
It's very neat.
But I think this is going to be kind of like the next big drop for the Fall of X. Like Hellfire Gala set it off. And then now, they changed the status quo completely. And then I think this is going to be the next kind of like, flash in the pan, so to speak, of like the overarching event.
Right.
Plus, I mean, it's probably a good party.
Probably.
Now I'm excited to see where all the Fall of X stuff goes. There are a couple other books coming out at the same time, and I think that the last issue of X-Men, which set this up, did a good job of like kind of leaving it ready to blow up.
Yeah. But you ready for number one? The Flash, number one.
The Flash.
Wally West races towards the future with a new all-star creative team. Wally West has never been quicker, more fulfilled, more heroic. His loving family is around him, and yet something is off, very off. His evolving understanding of his powers has opened Wally to new avenues of sci-fi adventure and attuned his senses to strange new ideas. Something whispers from the dark vibrations beyond the Speed Force. And as Wally experiments with creative new approaches to his powers, he encounters new realms, mysterious allies, and mind-shattering terrors. A new era for the Scarlet Speedster begins now from the team of Cy Superior and Mike DeDoda Jr. So this is pretty cool.
Dude,
what?
This is cool.
Yeah, because I've read a lot of Flash comics. And most, if not all of them, have kind of just been in Star City.
Yeah.
So it'll be... I like the idea of sci-fi Flash.
I mean, they keep finding new ways to write their stories, like new uses for his powers that get real interesting.
Yeah. It's just creative.
And I mean, everything in Dawn of DC has been a good like new start to these characters.
Mm-hmm.
I think like it's been fun, and I feel like I had not kept up, but caught up on some of the end of the last run of Flash before Night Terrors and this started. I think it's going to be a fun comic. Yeah. I just honestly never know sometimes who is actually the Flash at that point.
It's all, I mean,
whether it's Barry or
really
Wally.
Matter? Does it really matter? Like, I get it. If like, is it Dick behind the mask or is it Bruce behind the mask? Because that only happened once.
Yeah.
Or twice, whatever. The
but with
the amount of times the Flash changes is it doesn't really matter. It's the Flash. Because even with like Green Lantern, like all the other heroes, like when it's someone else, it's very different. But Barry and Wally are not that different. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I don't think they're.
No, they're very similar. They definitely. I mean, I'm sure if you go deep enough, I'm sure there's a Flash head out there. You are so.
Oh, sure.
But
sure.
No, they seem to be on the same level generally.
Yeah,
they are interchangeable at that point.
Yeah, because like the New 52 run I read was Barry, and the other one after that was Barry, but then Wally came back during that, and so now we have Wally in our first number one. I think that I've been around for.
Yeah. I like that cover F.
Yeah.
Where he's running big over the planet.
Oh, there's some great covers. My favorite's the H 1 in 50.
Yeah. No, that's definitely the coolest one.
Yeah. Like if we get some eyeball terror, like sci-fi adventure Flash, let's go. That'd be pretty cool.
I'm interested to see how they would do it. Yeah, because if he's discovering new dimensions, you never know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is an interesting one. But anything else you want to mention before?
No, I think that's it for this week.
Something that I just realized, the artist on the new Rat Queens that's coming out is the same original artist. So I guess I will not be picking this one up. Yeah. But I may go and read the other ones that he was not involved in. But I may need to follow up on that
that's
story.
Spicy.
Yeah.
Spicy.
Not to get into it here because that would be too long of a rant. We've already gone over our usual time. But if you are interested, just Google search and you'll find it. And you can make your own decision. Cool. So until next week, when this week's comics are last week's comics and next week's comics are this week's comics, we'll catch you guys later.
See ya.